From WXII 12 News, this is breaking news.
Breaking news tonight at 6. The merger of Winston-Salem-based BB&T and SunTrust Banks has cleared another hurdle.
The Federal Reserve Board approved the merger today, creating the sixth largest bank in the United States. But that approval has conditions. BB&T must divest 30 branches and more than $2.4 billion in deposits. It is not sure which branches yet will be divested through BB&T. In Commitment 2020, a new poll shows most Democrats have not picked a candidate for the U.S. Senate primary, which is less than 4 months away.
4 candidates have announced intentions to run for this seat, currently held by Republican incumbent Thom Tillis. Bill O'Neill breaks down the impact this has on everyone running in the race.
North Carolina is considered a key state in the fight for control of the U.S. Senate in next year's elections. The latest poll shows that the campaigns of Democrats here in North Carolina have not reached voters. Not yet. A Fox News poll finds nearly half of North Carolina Democrats don't know who they'd like to see as their party's nominee for U.S. Senate. Erica Smith, a state senator from Charlotte, is the favorite. The A&T graduate outpolled Cal Cunningham, a former state senator, and Trevor Fuller, a former Mecklenburg County commissioner.
Half the Democrats don't know their candidates.
UNCG political scientist David Holian says the big takeaway from the early poll is the number of voters who say they don't know.
The fact that 50% of Democrats don't have enough information to make a choice suggests to me that the candidates have been unable to break through.
Erica Smith issued a statement in response to the poll saying, quote, "I am encouraged by these poll numbers, especially since my primary opponent has had the support of 20 New York billionaires and more than $250,000 from committees funded by corporate and special interest PACs." The Cunningham campaign also issued a statement, quote, "As an Army veteran, Cal's focus remains where it has always been, on serving the people of North Carolina and fighting to bring better leadership to Washington." Political scientist David Holian says it's not surprising more voters are not engaged in the Senate race just yet.
You know, given the fact that there's so much air is being, taken out of the political world by impeachment, it's maybe no wonder that statewide candidates are having a little trouble.
So far, only one Democrat has raised any serious money for the Senate race. Cal Cunningham raised more than $1 million in the last quarter, roughly the same amount as incumbent Thom Tillis. In Greensboro, I'm Bill O'Neill, WXII 12 News.
Thank you, Bill. That same Fox News poll finds Senator Tillis with a commanding lead over his Republican primary challengers, Tucker Garland and Sandy Smith. Tillis has the support of more than half of the state's Republicans polled, at least according to this particular survey. Fox News says more than 1,500 North Carolinians were polled from November 10th to the 13th. The poll has a margin of error of plus or minus 2.5 percentage points.
The primary election in North Carolina will be held on Tuesday, March 3rd. The Democratic National Convention is scheduled for July 13th to July 16th in Milwaukee, followed by the Republican National Convention in Charlotte, August 24th through the 27th. Election Day is November 3rd. In Commitment 2019, the High Point City Council race for Ward 6 is not over by any means. Tomorrow, the Guilford County Board of Elections will hold a special meeting to do a recount. According to our partners at the High Point Enterprise, challenger Michael Holmes has a slight lead over Councilman Jason Ewing, but this race has not been certified. The recount will begin tomorrow afternoon at 2 at the old Guilford County Courthouse in Greensboro.
Another long day on Capitol Hill. 2 more hearings with 4 more witnesses in the ongoing impeachment inquiry of the president. Today, we heard from 4 people, including first-hand witnesses to the president's phone call with the leader of Ukraine. Alice Barr reports tonight from Washington, D.C.
If you would both please rise.
Adding an oath to tell the truth to one to defend the country, Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Vindman testified today about the July call between President Trump and the leader of Ukraine and what he considered an improper demand to investigate Joe Biden and the Democrats.
Frankly, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. My worst fear of how our Ukraine policy could play out was playing out.
Colonel Vindman, a national security advisor, was on the call, along with Jennifer Williams, a top State Department advisor to Vice President Mike Pence, who also found it unusual and inappropriate.
It involved discussion of what appeared to be a domestic political matter.
Later in the day, the committee questioned Ambassador Kurt Volker and a former advisor on the National Security Council, Tim Morrison. Ambassador Volker changing his testimony today to say that though he didn't know it at the time, he now realizes people around him did tell Ukraine to announce investigations that could help President Trump in exchange for military aid, and that a request to investigate the Ukrainian gas company where Joe Biden's son served on the board was more about targeting the Bidens than rooting out corruption.
In retrospect, I should have seen that connection differently, and had I done so, I would have raised my own objections.
Ambassador Volker saying he was trying to thread a needle in Ukraine to satisfy President Trump in hopes of getting the military aid released without entangling foreign policy and domestic politics. Morrison testified he worried the July call between President Trump and Ukraine's leader could play into partisan politics.
My fears have been realized.
Though he has said he was not concerned the two leaders discussed anything illegal. In a week full of testimony, all eyes are really looking ahead to tomorrow, when Ambassador to the European Union Gordon Sondland is set to testify. The one-time Trump donor changed his original closed-door deposition to say there was a quid pro quo in Ukraine. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Thank you, Alice. Cutting down on crime and sending a clear message. That is the goal of a new effort pairing the Winston-Salem Police Department with the Forsyth County Sheriff's Office and the District Attorney. This comes after a recent uptick in gun violence within the city. Our Kirsten Gutierrez joins us live outside of the Sheriff's Office with more on this new partnership. So, Kirsten, what exactly are they doing now?
Talita, they're patrolling high crime areas across this city, and they're hoping that this large law enforcement presence will not only cut down on crime, but will also serve as a message that gun violence will not be tolerated. When it comes to recent gun violence, Winston-Salem Police Chief Katrina Thompson says enough is enough.
About 3 weeks ago, we had 3 homicides basically in a 48-hour time period. That's when the sheriff and I and our district attorney sat down and started talking about what can we do and how are we going to do it. And we can't wait for these things to happen. We need to do something now.
So on Thursday, she teamed up with the Forsyth County Sheriff's Office to start the Violent Firearms Augmentation Task Force.
We're in this together, whether it's inside the city, whether it's inside the county. We have to be a force multiplier. We must bring all of our resources to the same table.
With extra resources from the Sheriff's Office, the task force patrols high crime areas specifically targeting gun violence.
The goal is to eliminate not just violent crimes, but particularly homicides and the shooting and just sheer fear of violence in our community. It's unacceptable.
In just days, they've arrested dozens of people and seized 37 firearms. A number Forsyth County District Attorney Jim O'Neill is proud to stand behind, knowing those offenders are off the streets.
We have the lowest dismissal rate of any urban county in the state when it comes to crimes of violence, crimes being committed by guns. And I want to assure people that work goes on behind the scenes while they're sleeping, while they're at work, constantly trying to keep this community safe. And we're just not going to tolerate any sort of uptick in violence.
But all three say it takes a village to see change.
I think we need to change our mindset on who's responsible for this and we're all responsible for the safety of this community, and we've got to be able to work together to accomplish that goal.
Did that, I thought that.
Now, Sheriff Kimbrough says that there will be layers to this task force. Aside from targeting gun violence, they will also be working on a community task force to address social issues and try to get to the root of the problem. Live in Winston-Salem, Kirsten Gutierrez, WXI 12 News.
Kirsten, thank you. The former director of the Miller Park Rec Center is accused of sexually assaulting a child. This investigation dates back to September of 2018. Police say David Edge was formally indicted on charges yesterday. Authorities say an 8-year-old disclosed that Edge had assaulted him back in August of last year. Edge was charged this past July with indecent liberties. The city's Parks and Rec Department was made aware of these charges. No word on whether Edge is still employed there.
Nearly 150 bus drivers in Guilford County say they won't be doing their normal bus routes next Monday and Tuesday. They'll be calling for higher wages in front of the county commissioner's office instead. Our Steve King joins us live from Guilford County School headquarters with more details on what bus drivers are demanding and the response from the school district as well as the county. Steve.
At least 146 bus drivers here in Guilford County say they're not making a livable wage, and that's why they're taking their demands for higher salaries outside of the County Commission chambers next Monday and Tuesday. Now, County Commission Board Chair Alan Branson calls the planned walkout, quote, foolish and, quote, in poor taste. He says the drivers should be going to state leaders for more money in the state budget and definitely not be making these demands during school days. He also says a recent six-figure transportation position created by the school district could have been used to give the bus drivers higher salaries or the funds for that position. Meanwhile, the school district says they have already allocated $2 million of funds to give the bus drivers about $500 of bonuses this year, showing that the school district is doing everything it can to increase the bus drivers' salaries. School district leaders also say the planned walkout is a, quote, breach of trust because it could potentially leave kids unable to get to school early next week.
We love all the kids we drive. We have a relationship with them personally. No, I do not want to leave my kids at the stop. No, I do not want them to feel like Miss Ray is not coming because Miss Ray is caring, and I do care. But at this moment, it's time to stand. We're going to stand now or it's going to be never.
I'm really concerned because we have such a high free and reduced lunch population that there will be students who won't be able to eat if they can't come to school. So, you know, having this be a concern during already a short week when we're concerned about, you know, kids eating and being in school, that creates a bigger concern.
School district leaders say they were not aware of the planned walkout until the last 2 weeks, and they were caught off guard by this. The school district also says they are working on alternate plans right now to make sure that all students can get to school on Monday and Tuesday, even if those 146 out of 550 bus drivers do sit out of work. Meanwhile, the demonstrating bus drivers say that these demonstrations could go on longer than just next Monday or Tuesday. It all depends on what happens in the coming days. Reporting live in Guilford County, Steve King, WXII 12 News.